Now, very happy to welcome our next guest to the show. He's done really well on loan at Millwall over the past year. He's been coming through at Brighton and he's captained the Irish under-21s under Stephen Kenny as well, and hopefully big things ahead for Jayson Molumby. Jayson, thanks so much for the time. How you doing?
Yeah, all right, lads. Yeah, all good, all good.
Great to have you with us. Where are you in the world at the moment? Have you come home or are you still over in the UK?
I'm actually in the UK. I went away on holiday, and while I was there, I was in Spain. So on the way back, I had to quarantine for 14 days. So I didn't really know where I was going, but yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Feet up, trying to relax after what I presume is a season you're very happy with, aside from the weird interruption in the middle of it, but happy with on the field anyway.
Yeah, no, it's been unbelievable for me personally. I suppose for my first professional season, I suppose in the first team, it went really well. Just probably gutted we didn't make the playoffs in the end as a team, but personally, I was delighted with it really.
For people who maybe missed it, you were playing with Millwall, you were on loan for a year, you played 36 times across the season, and as you said, you just missed out in playoffs, just 2 points off in the end, but it was a bad start and you came through really well across the year as a team, and you featured from September on. Can I jump back just a moment or two and bring people up to date with your story? So Cappoquin, County Waterford, that's big GAA territory, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah, definitely.
So were you playing a bit of GAA hurling as well, or was it football all the way?
I suppose, yeah, it was a bit of both all the way up, but for me personally, it was all soccer, football. I remember they'd always be stuck for numbers or whatever, and they'd come around knocking, and I'd always probably turn them away, and I wanted just to focus on my football, because I didn't really enjoy GA so much because I don't know, just certain things that annoyed me, I think, within the GA, so I just focused on football, and thankfully that all worked out, yeah.
Right, go on. Name and shame, what things annoyed you?
I just felt it was a bit, just a bit different. I think, there'd be a lot of managers, they'd be the kids' dads and all, and, there's a bit of politics involved, and just didn't really enjoy GA. I just thought it wasn't for me, so I stuck out the football, and luckily that went a bit better.
Yeah, it's worked out pretty well, to be fair. Why Brighton? I know you were on trial. I think Birmingham City were interested. I think another club was interested as well. Maybe there were others. I don't know. What was it about Brighton that you liked, that you decided to go down south?
Yeah, so Brighton was probably the last trial I actually went on before I made my decision about where I wanted to go. So I went to West Brom, Birmingham, Celtic, Villa, a few of them, and got offered off a few of them clubs. And lastly was Brighton, and they had a really strong Irish connection at the time, and there was a load of Irish lads in the 18s and 23s. And when I went there, the setup and the facilities was just unbelievable. And then to make it even better, just the general vibe around the place with the people and the staff, everyone was so friendly. Whereas at other clubs, people walk by you, wouldn't say hello, wouldn't make you feel welcome. But at Brighton, everyone just done their best to make you feel welcome and look after you. So it was a no-brainer for me.
Right. It's amazing how that stuff is absolutely essential if you're going to do well, especially when you're moving over as a young lad. And probably staff at the club don't realise the impact that a nice word in the corridor has.
Yeah, I suppose when you're going over, you need to be happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was only 15 going over, and I was gone away from home, and even where you're living, I suppose, makes a big difference to where you actually eventually go, because you need to be happy where you're going to be living. And like Brighton's a lovely area, and like I said, the people are great, and there's lads in similar positions as you, the Irish boys and stuff. So it was a no-brainer for me really, and it was just I've never looked back really, because I enjoy it here so much.
Was there any to-ing and fro-ing at home about maybe staying, continuing with education, going the League of Ireland route, or was everybody behind you going over?
Not a chance. I was eager to get out, because I was done with junior sort, and I think with about 3 or 4 weeks left in the junior sort, I actually got suspended because I was just acting a bit of the bollocks in school. Do you know what I mean? Because I knew I was leaving, and I just wanted to get out. So school was never for me. So, I mean, and like I said, you said yourself, it was a very GA orientated place, and even with school was pretty much that. And they didn't really like the fact at times that, you know, I'd tell them, no, I'm not playing for the school team, GA and all. Yeah, they got the hump a little bit with that. So.
Right, okay. So school was never for you, never something you particularly enjoyed. Happy to see the back of it kind of thing?
Sorry, what was that again?
So school was something you never really enjoyed. You were like more than happy to just leave it behind.
Yeah, more than happy. No, I never enjoyed it, like sitting in the classroom. And I think the only thing I enjoyed was break time, do you know what I mean, with the boys and just having a laugh when we got a little break or whatever. But no, school just definitely wasn't for me.
How did you find the standard of football when you landed in Brighton and started playing with the U teams there? Did you hit the ground running, find it okay from the off, or was there a transition period?
Obviously, the first probably 2 months were quite tough. Do you know what I mean? When you're going in and you're starting to do like body weights and lower body weights, which I'd never done before in my life, and my body was so sore, and I was struggling then, and I just felt like it was quite tough, to be fair. But I ended up doing quite well in my first year, and I played like a full season with the 23 straight away and stuff. And I kind of never really played 18s football in England. I always kind of missed that one out. So yeah, it was really good. But it was definitely tough to get used to, I suppose. Obviously, big, strong lads, and you just need to kind of play catch up from the start when you go over.
Have you always been a midfielder, Jayson?
In and out, we used to play striker a little bit and right mid and stuff, but I think it was actually Noel Harrison, I think, with emerging talent, under 15 Ireland and stuff, and I was playing like a number 10 and striker, and he actually was one saw me as more of a midfielder. So yeah, from then defensive midfielder or a box-to-box midfielder.
Right, okay. And away from the pitch then, you talked about the importance of being happy. Were you happy with where you were living? Did you settle in off the pitch?
Yeah, so I first moved over and I had a nightmare. I was in digs for 2-3 weeks with a family, and it just didn't go well. I was so homesick and I just didn't enjoy it at all. And I ended up moving with a lady, and Dan Mandrew, who's now playing at Bows. I was living with him for a good 3 years, and just instantly felt so happy, and I felt just comfortable and at home. Do you know what I mean? Because they treated us so well, and we had like our own little living room. We had a ping pong table, a lot. So it was buzzing in the end. It was really good, and it was just right around the corner from the training ground, so it was very convenient as well.
Great. You made real progress. Things were going very smoothly, and then the injury happens. So this was a proper nightmare scenario for you in many ways. Initially, you did your knee, and was it 8 months out? At first, that was the initial problem?
Yeah, so like I said, things were just starting to kind of go well for me. I just turned 18 and was doing well. You know, I was training with the first team, made my debut and a few things, and then I had a few niggles at my knee all along throughout Brighton since I joined, like little things that leave me out for 2-3 weeks or whatever. But yeah, I just went in for a tackle, and I ended up my knee subluxed, which means like it's kind of semi-dislocated and goes back into the socket. So what happened first is I went to see a specialist, and because I was young, they didn't really want to operate because, you know, I had a good chance of my body healing itself or whatever. But it didn't work, and I came back after 7 or 8 months for the pre-season, and literally my second, third training session, I've done it again, even worse, and had to get a big operation after that. So it ended up being around 15 months in total. So it wasn't ideal, I suppose. It was probably made me a lot better for it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Where is your head when you do the injury the second time after 3 days back? I can only imagine the devastation when they scan it or when they look at it, or they say, yeah, bad news, you've done the exact same thing again.
Yeah, I was gutted, to be honest, because all along when I was at home, I was enjoying my summer with my family, and I was kind of get like 6 weeks off, and I was just wishing away the 6 weeks because I was being told by Brighton, you're going to be back in training, and I hadn't trained in 7-8 months, so I was absolutely buzzing to go, and then all of a sudden to get that setback. And when I went to see the specialist, I was a bit nervous, and I think the club were nervous as well because there was talks of getting a microfracture behind my knee, and if you get that, it's not good news. But thankfully the specialist got scans and said I didn't need that, so it was only going to be 5-6 months. I'm saying only for another 5 or 6 months because it was so long, but it was good news for me anyway.
Right, okay. And do they know why it happened the second time? There was obviously some weakness from the initial injury.
No, so they scanned it obviously when it first happened, and my ligament holding my knee was a bit fragile and wear and tear. But because I was young, they thought I'd be able to deal with it. And all my rehab up until I did it the second time was just trying to get strength around build up my leg muscles, build up my quad muscles in order to keep that knee in place. But it just didn't work. I think I needed the operation, but it was something the club definitely wanted to do because I was so young. But just one of them things, I think, in the end where it was just unfortunate.
I was listening to you talking on Irish Football Fan TV, and you were saying, I think around the time of the second injury, you were on a team night out, or it was a night out, and Shane Duffy, who's obviously at the club, gave you a few words of encouragement or told you to kind of cop yourself on a little bit, or dig deeper. I'm not too sure what he said, but clearly you were feeling pretty down about the whole situation anyway.
Yeah, I was. So I was never really much of a drink or anything, but I was probably gone out a bit too much than I should have, because I was just thinking my head was completely gone. I was just going out enjoying myself with a few of the boys that were playing. And I remember I went into the physio room. I was kind of messing with one of the boys, and I ended up bashing my knee off one of them, like a knee-to-knee contact. And all of a sudden the physio comes in, and she done a daily kind of test on my knee, and noticed it was swollen, and I instantly shit myself because she couldn't, for another week or two, she couldn't get the swelling down, and no matter what, couldn't get the swelling down. So I was after bashing it up against one of the boys, and it was just a nightmare because obviously I panicked because swelling isn't a good sign, do you know what I mean? And I just panicked in case I'd done something to it again. And Duffy got ear to that and met me on the way out, and he just had a few words, and he just, it was something I needed, probably a little bit of a kick up the arse and an arm around the shoulder as well at the same time. So he's been very good to me since I first came, really.
Great. And did that have an impact? I mean, did you try and knuckle down then after that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd knuckle down anyway,
Okay.
I felt like I was doing it, but that definitely gave me an extra kick just to kind of get back in line, I suppose. But every day I was doing my rehab to teach, you know what I mean, just trying to get back, and you just feel disheartened, I suppose, when everything you do just doesn't work. So I probably needed that little pick up from Duffy as well, to be fair. No,
it's understandable. When did you actually get back on a football field, getting through a week of training? How long ago was that now?
So last February, so about 16 months ago, I'd say.
Yeah.
So a year and a bit now. Last February I came back, and Italy, Stephen Kenny was just the Ireland manager as well at the time, and he actually came to me first game back. I played 45 minutes against Man City, and had a chat with him afterwards, and he was just delighted with me, and I felt really good. And he was picking the team, I think it was 3 weeks later. I was only back after, as you said, like 15 months out, and then I was going in there just hoping, to be involved or being around it some bit, but I wasn't expecting to even play. And then Stephen made me captain and stuff, so it was unbelievable, like how quick football goes from being down and you know what I mean, seeing no way out, and then all of a sudden you're captain your country. So it was unbelievable. Wow,
that's incredible. You must have thought he was pulling your leg or something. Like, fair enough playing, but captain.
No, I couldn't believe it, to be honest, because I was honestly going in just thinking, right, because I was only back that he wasn't even going to play me. He was just going to have me around the squad for maybe the next group of games or whatever. But yeah, it was unbelievable.
What does Stephen Kenny want from you, Jayson, on the pitch? What's his main message to you when you're going out and playing in his midfield?
Just probably dominate, I think, really. Just literally run all over their midfield, you know, just take the game to them and be positive, bring others with you sort of thing as well. I think that's probably my role anyway, you know, just setting the tempo and setting the game for everyone else. And he wanted to be really brave and just go and dictate possession as well. You know, he's really into giving everyone confidence and freedom to play. So he's been really, really good with us, to be honest, and I've really enjoyed it.
The loan year at Millwall, was that something you were happy to do? Did you think, oh, does this mean Brighton don't fancy me? Did you feel I need to get out and play first team football? What was the thoughts around that move?
No, so, I was back from the Toulon tournament, and you know, I was getting a few clubs interested and stuff, and there was a new gaffer, obviously. Graham Potter came into Brighton, and I remember I trained the first day of pre-season, and you don't know a new manager. You want to try and impress him, but I actually tore my quad first day, so that was kind of ruled me out straight away. So in the end, I went straight out on loan, which I was very happy to do, to be honest, because I just needed to play football or even compete in the first team. And you know, I had like League One, Scottish champ, and a few teams, and you know, I could wear the number 8 shirt at them clubs that were interested in me. But for Millwall, they came in and said, look, you have to fight for your place, sort of thing. They were a championship club, and I just wanted to try and test myself and aim as high as I could. So I wanted to go to the championship and try and take it from there.
Fair play to you. I mean, it went well. I know your first league start wasn't until September, so it's not like you just walked into the team. But once you got in there, as I said at the start of the interview, 36 matches across the season. Millwall finished 8th. What a brilliant kind of first proper senior year for you, and you caught Stephen Kenny's eye. He's name checked you. People, you know, fans have been watching you play at Millwall. I know the fans at Millwall really took to you as well, but Irish fans have been watching you as well. So it kind of couldn't have gone much better from your perspective. Did you find the step up in standard okay?
Yeah, it was obviously tough. Like you said, I probably struggled at the start really, where obviously I didn't have a pre-season under my belt and didn't get that, and everyone was probably a bit fitter than me and everything. And obviously the boys were much used to champ tempo than I was. And for the first 4 or 5 games, I probably thought the tempo was a lot for me, and not struggled, but I found it tough. But I started getting confident, getting used to it. Then it all went to plan from there really. And yeah, like you said, I didn't really look back, and we had a really good season. And yeah, I would have snapped your hand off that season if you said, you know, you play 40 games or whatever for Millwall. So absolutely buzzing. Yeah,
no, I can imagine. And did the tempo start to feel normal, like 30 games in? Is the tempo just something you're not even thinking about anymore, or was it always a challenge?
Yeah, no, the tempo, I got used to it, to be fair. And obviously, you know, it was my first league games, and league are a lot different to cup games. Like, I had a few cup games at Brighton, but the intensity in league games is a lot more, I felt, and it's just something to get used to. And yeah, I thought I got used to it fairly quick once I did get me a few opportunities.
Great. So what's the plan now? Are you back with Brighton for next season? Is it all still undecided? Are you looking at another loan move? Where are you?
Yes, it's all a bit undecided still. Obviously, I'm going back to Brighton to try and get in the team and impress the gaffer there. And we'll come to a decision then, see what would be best for me, because you know, I need to play games, I feel, and I want to play games, especially after having a full season now at a championship club, a top 10 championship club. So I just feel like I want to play and I need to play. So just looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, Brighton have offered you, or more than offered you. I know you've signed a 3-year extension, so you're contracted with Brighton until 2023. So clearly, you know, they like you and they stuck by you through your injury. So it's probably just a case of the timing and whether they feel you're ready. I'm not quite sure how that's all decided. Like if you're told, well, listen, you might get 15 games here across a Premier League season, but you might get 30 or 40 in the Championship. What do you want to do? That's kind of maybe a scenario you might be looking at.
Yeah, obviously it's a big decision to weigh up, and obviously nothing's really guaranteed in football. No matter what you do, you need to make your own look, sort of thing. No one's gonna hand them games to you. Do you know what I mean? So I just look forward to whatever happens. And like you said, Brighton have been unbelievable. Me, honestly, couldn't thank the people enough at the club. The physios, the coaches, everyone's really helped me, and there's some really good people at the club, and it's definitely on the up as well, so it's looking good for the future.
And Jayson, do you have an agent? Do you have somebody that you can turn to for football advice?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. It's just sometimes it's hard to know. Some players do, some players don't. So
No, I need them, to be fair. They look after you well.
okay. What age would you get an agent as a matter of interest?
Fair, I got an agent around 15, I think, because I probably needed it, just because going over, there was different things you need to consider, like with the different clubs, and so I had 3 or 4 clubs wanted to sign me, so it's a big deal, and you need these people who are kind of experienced in football and know what would probably be the best fit and the best place here, so you need that advice and people to kind of show you the way.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. When does pre-season start?
I think around mid-August for Brighton, so it should be coming up pretty soon now.
Okay, good man. Well, listen, we've taken up enough of your time. I know you pulled into the side of the road to chat to us, so we appreciate that. Congrats. I mean, geez, I'd say as you were walking off the pitch, or probably been carried off the pitch, that second injury, this felt like a long way away. So congrats on a brilliant season with Millwall, and continued success, Jayson. Thanks so much.
Thanks very much, lads. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
See you later.
See ya.